You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
We are thrilled to kick off the second annual Lawn Tourpreneur Series and highlight some of the best and brightest up-and-comers in the lawn and landscaping industry. We're interviewing 6 launchpreneurs across the country, highlighting their success as we share their inspiring story with you. Thank you to our sponsors, Echo, Equip, and Stiehl for partnering with us on this exciting tour. Don't forget to check out the correlating equipment tour videos for each of our guests on the Brian's Lawn Maintenance YouTube channel, airing every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, really excited about kicking it off and teeing it up for our guest interview with Blake Stiehl. He is the owner of BD's Outdoor Services, all the way down in Atlanta, Georgia. Had a really good time flying in there. Actually, just a quick in and out. Flew in at about 10 o'clock in the morning. We drove about 45 minutes to an hour to his house. Filmed for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Got to meet his family. Just awesome folks there. Beautiful property. And then actually just hightailed it back. Drove an hour back to the airport and swung on back home. But man, I'll tell you what, that 2 hours was so much fun. I wish I could stay all day sometimes when I get to hang out with you guys because y'all have so much going on. But long story short, jamming business, jamming company. I think Blake is like 18 or 19 years old. He's just literally getting his feet, underneath him as an adult. And to see what he's putting together is second to none. As always, I invite you guys to check out the correlating, teenager tour setup video that we're going to do on YouTube. That'll drop at 3 p.m. Eastern. You definitely got to check that out. It's so cool to see his setup. He's got a bunch of Skag equipment. He's got a beautiful truck, some trailers, a dump trailer, and he's just got it going on, man. I'm really excited about highlighting his growth and his success. Also, quick honorable mention, this doesn't hurt if you ever want to get my attention, and we're going to come on by and hang out at your place. And you got a razor, a four-wheeler, you want to go shoot some pew-pews, all that fun stuff. That's always a fun enticement. I'm still a big kid at heart, just like a lot of you guys. And Blake, actually, this is such a cool story, and it's his story to tell, and he'll share that on the podcast. But he bought and don't quote me, I don't know all the SKUs, but I think it's a Can-Am Maverick, like C3 or M3 or I'm not sure. Something really cool. It's like a side-by-side. It's like a razor. And it's really awesome to see that purchase because that's actually what motivated him to start his lawn care and landscaping business about 4 or 5 years ago. And he had just picked it up like 2 months before I was able to meet him up at his house and his property. So we actually went ripping around his property with that thing and going 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. Just absolutely insane. A ton of excitement, ton of fun. So Blake, thank you so much for that. I'll definitely cherish those memories. We super appreciate that. Just ripping it and doing some 0 to 60, drag races in the fields of your parents' property. That was freaking awesome, dude. So thank you. So it was so cool to see the kid put this whole business together and then, of course, work towards those dreams and goals and to see that dream get realized. I really invite you guys to check all that out. Here's a story here on the podcast and then check out that video later tonight. Let's do this really quick. I want to say a big, tour sponsor. Thank you to Echo, Equip, and Stiehl. You guys have been following along. We couldn't do these things without them. Planes tickets cost money. Hotel rooms cost money. So I just wanted to say a big nod and thank you to those guys. If you happen to see them at a booth or a conference or just, the highways and byways, say, hey, man, heard about you guys in the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. I just picked up an Echo 2620, Stiehl 360, or hey, I came to Equip Expo. If you see any of the brass, running around, say, hey, thanks for reinvesting into the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. I knew of this event or heard of this product because of you guys and the content you're helping me get on YouTube and also the podcast to stay motivated to grow my business. Guys, that means a lot to me. It means a lot to them. And it all goes full circle as we all have some reciprocity, building these things together and keeping each other accountable and also motivated. So that being said, we're going to do this really quick. We're going to kick it over to BD's Outdoor Services, Blake Stiehl. It was such an awesome time getting to check out his whole setup, and hopefully you guys enjoy the podcast interview that we have with him right here, right now. Beautiful day. It's been a pretty smooth day of travel so far getting down here. Paul Jameson with the Green Industry Podcast is right. Atlanta is a wild airport.
Yeah, you can get lost there.
Holy cow, man. I was just trying to go from like gate to gate and terminal. I don't even know, terminal to terminal. And you were like coaching me through the whole place because I never really left the airport. Normally I'm just making a connection, but it's a big friggin' airport.
Yeah, for the airports I've been to, the Hartsfield-Jackson one, it doesn't get any more hectic than that one.
It's a lot of moving people, a lot of stressed out looking people for obviously reason, right? Nobody wants to miss their gate or their connection, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've gone our flight 3 hours early one time. We barely made it.
Is that right?
Certain days, especially like holidays and stuff, the traffic is ridiculous.
Is that right? Wow, man. It's and I totally get it because we for when I do these tours, if you guys are want to know the behind the scenes, normally I fly in like 10, 11 in the morning. We film and podcast for a couple hours. If there's time, maybe grab lunch, all that kind of mess, and then usually I'm back on an airplane 4 or 5 o'clock, and I try to be home 6, 7 o'clock at night and hang with the family, tuck my little one in, my little girl Emmy, and I'm a family guy, so I like to be home, same day if I can. And we're going to probably run that gamut today and hopefully, get everything done in time. And we'll see if we've cut it too close. But we got a little bit of time here, so no big deal. But I would love to, I want to make sure we take some time to tell your story, man, because you got a great thing going on here. A lot of guys know you from Instagram. A lot of guys that have been on the tour, and a lot of guys that know that you're going to be on the tour. We're super excited about hearing your story. It's been a really, really cool journey the last couple of years, man. You want to take it all the way from the top and all the way back from the beginning? How'd you get started? And where are we at, by the way? I know it's Atlanta, but where in general are you at?
So I live in Moreland. More service, probably more people will be familiar with the Noonan, Peachtree City area.
Okay.
So that's kind of my service area. I mean, I service about a 25-mile radius, but more people would recognize Noonan, Georgia. That's kind of where I'm based out of.
I think I've heard Paul mention Peachtree.
Peachtree is a pretty populated city. It's like, I don't know, it might be a 10-mile radius, but it's
money.
It's packed.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's nonstop traffic. That's the busiest area.
Okay.
By me. So.
Where's Cumming? Where Paul is at? Where's he around here? Do you know where Cumming is?
I think that's closer to Atlanta.
Okay.
I believe
Just curious, yeah.
About 30, 40 minutes away from me.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's not terrible, but
I've been trying to make an excuse to get down here to come see Paul and hang out in this area. And then also my CPA, part of the great exodus out of California because of how crazy it is over there. He moved to Cumming, and I said I need to come on down there, visit Paul, visit my CPA, all that mess, and it'd be a really fun area. So a lot of landscaping here I've noticed, a lot of big properties around here I've noticed.
Yeah, but right where I live out in Moreland, we're kind of more in the countryside, so it's a lot of bigger acreage out here.
Okay. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So let me ask you this. Let's take it from the top. How did you get started cutting grass? Because we were getting to know each other more while we were driving from the airport. We had a good 45-minute drive. And I can't believe how much stuff you have going on, man. You're 18 years old?
Yes, sir.
So you just turned 18. You got your graduation present. We'll talk tractors if you guys want to listen into the tail end of this. But how did you get started cutting grass?
So basically, when I was 14, I was like, it was summer break. I was wanting to get a job. I mean, I wanted to make some extra money so I could get some stuff I wanted.
Okay.
And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was looking at dog sitting. I was just extra money. I was looking at all different things. I was watching YouTube. All of a sudden, a YouTube video came up. Lawn care. I think it was actually, if anyone knows Stet's lawn care, I think it was his. It was one of his videos popped up, and I'm like, that's what I want to do.
Okay.
So I used to live in a neighborhood. We always cut our own yards or our own lawn before, so we didn't have a lawn care company. So I already had a weed eater, blower, and I was like, hey, Dad, I want to start a lawn care company. Can I borrow your weed eater? Can I borrow your blower? And he's like, sure. And I went out, I had allowance saved up. I went to Home Depot. I bought a $400 push mower.
Is that right?
And I just brought it around our golf cart all around our neighborhoods.
Man, that's awesome.
So,
and that was, how old were you back then?
14.
14 years old.
So the summer, I think I started July 2019.
Okay.
June, July, somewhere around there in that range. So we had some family friends. I went knocking at their door, said, hey, would y'all be interested in me cutting your yard? $40-$50. And that's how I got started.
No way, man. So that's awesome.
I fell in love with it.
What was the motivation back then? Like what made you get started? You were like, hey, I need to make some money. What for? Was it? I
like my toys.
Do you like the toys?
I have some dirt bikes. I have a side-by-side I got. And priorities have changed a little bit now. Sure. I used to work super hard so I could get stuff I enjoyed playing with. But now all I do is work to keep growing the business. So I've kind of switched mindsets a little bit, but
that's awesome, man. Yeah. I mean, that's great motivation. Mine back in the day was fireworks and Subway sandwiches. And there's the, first part of the 90s and Subways were like popping up all the place, and I was like, I want to go get a $5 foot long sandwich. And I rode my little bike like 3 miles down the road and I had, a little, fat knot in my pocket of like $50 or $100 because I was cutting grass, had like 6 or 7, trailer park customers, and I was off to the races, man. That's awesome. So how did you continue to grow the company from there? If you're 15, 16, moving up, did you see this as like a business, or was it just a great way to make some extra cash? Where were you at on that?
I started it out as just a way to make some extra money. It was just gonna be a summer job, and I mean, I just loved it.
Okay.
It's all I did, and it helped a lot because the next summer was 2020, and that was COVID.
Yeah.
So we had a couple months where wasn't in school. So I was like, oh, this gives me time to grow my business. So it started out as a summer job, and because of COVID, it just turned into a full-time thing.
Is that right? Wow. And how many customers did you go from there to, where you guys are at today?
So my first summer, I believe I ended with 5 or 6 properties. Then it went to 10 to 15, then 25. And then this season I'm at 50, 60.
Wow.
So it just keeps doubling each year, basically.
That's awesome.
So.
That's awesome. I feel like COVID, it was a crazy couple of years for everybody with a lot of different topics, obviously. But it seemed like it was the biggest blessing out there for so many of you younger guys because school was on Zoom or whatever you call it. And you guys had these e-learning classes. From what it sounded like, all you guys were able to not do too much work to kind of pass.
I didn't have to spend that much time in school. And even like my classes, like Spanish class and stuff, I'd use Google Translate for everything. So it was pretty easy.
So when you were, getting out of school at quote unquote 10 or 11 a.m. or submitting your work online or whatever you guys had to do, you were loading up the trailer, heading out the door.
Oh yeah. I had everything ready to go. And the second classes got out, I just went to work.
No way. That's awesome. So what helped you go from, just making 5, 10, 15 lawns to realizing that you can make this a business this last year or two, because now you've got your equipment all branded the same. You've got a company Polo on right now. It went from, making a couple extra bucks and buying some dirt bikes, which is awesome, to you have a real business forming up here. So what was there a mental shift or a transition, this last year or two since the COVID years where you're like, hey, I can make this thing, make something out of it?
I think the switch was honestly is I invested in a better mower. Like I said, I started with a push mower. Then after that, I actually a local landscaper. He saw my work ethic. He had this old Skag walk behind sitting in a shipping container. He was like, I haven't used this thing in years. If you can fix it up, you can have it.
Wow.
So that got me through my second season, but that thing was falling apart on me.
Yeah.
So I pulled the trigger. I invested in a Skag V-Ride, and that absolutely changed my business. And that when I realized how much quantity I could do, that kind of was like, I could turn this into something.
Because now you weren't just push mowing. And what'd you have before that? A garden tractor or something, I would imagine? Or push mower?
I started with a push mower.
Just push mower.
I was doing quarter-acre properties with push mower. So it was
awesome.
Yeah, I was push mowing 6 yards a week. So I was doing like one a day. So I lived in a neighborhood. Take me 2 minutes with a golf cart to get there. But
no. How did you get around and move around? Because you were only 14, 15, 16, right? And you said you had a golf cart, family golf cart. So one thing that everybody's situation is a little different. Some people have a family with a golf cart or a side-by-side or a four-wheeler and they build a little cart. Some people I just literally physically walked my whole trailer park subdivision. I mean, I would walk 2 miles for a $13 cut, pushing a little 6.5 horsepower lawnmower, and then mow it for 30 minutes, and then walk 2 miles back, like uphill both ways, in the snow, like our grandparents always joke. So how did you guys get around? And then when you got a car, did that open up things for you?
Oh, big time. Because like I said, I just got around with that golf cart. We had a little 4x6 trailer.
Okay.
So it was super tiny. So only about a push mower could fit on it.
Sure.
But I had push mower, weed eater, edger, and I just towed it all around the neighborhood. So that actually got me quite a lot of traction because people in the neighborhood love seeing this kid driving around a golf cart lawn care business.
Yeah.
So
want to support.
That helped a lot, but it's also a hard part. I'm sure if other kids are watching this, they probably have the same situation. I got a lot of people when I was first starting out trying to get me for the cheapest.
Okay.
They're like you're always a little 14-year-old kid. He'll cut my yard for $20. And I had to deal with a lot of that. And when I turned 15, I had a learner's permit, so I probably shouldn't have, but I drove the truck all throughout the neighborhood.
Okay, yeah.
So there's not really cops or anything in there, so it didn't really matter. But
spreading your wings.
So my first year when I was 15, I used my truck from now on.
That's awesome.
It was it was pretty neat. So,
well, let me ask you this: for anybody who's listening in and hasn't went to your Instagram page and given you a follow, I highly encourage it. I mean, you got great photos, a great business forming up. One thing that I've been dispelling on this tour, and a lot of these younger guys like yourself that are having great success, is the notion that it was all given to you. And we were joking on the way here in the car, just cutting up. Like, it couldn't be further from the truth. Like, dude, you've put this whole company together from literally scratch. You want to talk about that for a minute? Because I think that's something that it breaks my heart that so many people just go to daddy's money versus like giving you guys the credit that you deserve for building these awesome companies. Even if it's only 80 grand or 50 grand or 20 grand. I'm like, how many kids you know are making 20, 30, 50, 80 grand part-time while they're in high school? I think you guys have it probably the hardest out of any age group or peer group or demographic that I know, because you guys have to balance school and church and family stuff and girlfriends and all this stuff. Like, how do you guys do it all?
For me, especially with that part, is I just keep reinvesting. It's not people on Instagram, they only see if they, especially that, they'll like recent followers, they'll see, oh, you have this big company. It's one piece of equipment at a time. It's not like I just jumped to this huge business. You start from the bottom, work your way up. It's a snowball.
Yep.
And people don't see that part. But I mean, I financed my truck I'm currently driving, and then everything else I've just reinvested in cash. So I'm trying to maintain my business debt free.
Cool.
But it's just one step at a time. So that's the part that people don't see.
What kind of advice would you give to somebody who's going through that process and maybe they're discouraged, or, that snowball, like you said, it's a snowball effect, but that snowball starting off is pretty small snowball. Now it's getting bigger every single day and it picks up momentum. But in the beginning, what do you tell somebody who's, 15 and they're push mowing and it's 94 degrees out and they're hating life and they're like, Blake's got it made. But like, you were doing that just 2-3 years ago.
We all start somewhere. I mean, that's one thing. Instagram, that's the highlight reel. People compare themselves to these other people with all these nice photos, this nice equipment. We all started somewhere.
Yeah.
You can't compare yourself to these other companies. You just really can't, because they'll just upset you, depress you. I don't know, but it's a highlight reel. So you just got to really do your own thing. You'll grow, you'll get there eventually. Just keep working hard and you'll work your way up.
Early bird registration ends September 7th. Start planning today to celebrate the 40th Equip Exposition Trade Show this October 17th through the 20th in Louisville, Kentucky. Expo is the best place for landscapers to find the latest equipment, tools, and technology to get more productive and efficient. And then you can go into our 30-acre demo yard and test the products for yourself. Explore new business opportunities in one of our 50-plus education sessions and learn firsthand from experts in landscaping, hardscaping, irrigation, pool installation, tree care, and outdoor lighting. And don't miss the new Thursday night arena concert with Third Eye Blind and Dylan Scott. Also, there's our UTV test track and our main stage events with top-notch speakers like Brian Fullerton, all for just $25 per person if you register during our early bird sale. And you can even save 50% off that price with the coupon code BRIAN. The early bird registration ends September 7th.
Yeah, I love that, man. I think it's good to keep the blinders on. It's okay to look left and right, once in a while and see what people are doing, best practices, new equipment, a different approach to doing something. But the older I've gotten, the more I realize, and this isn't an excuse or this isn't throwing shade. It's just like, you don't know the full story sometimes about people's life or business. Hey, how can that person afford to go on so many vacations? Well, you don't know that his mom and dad are taking care of them, right? Or, hey, how can they afford the XYZ? Well, you don't know that they got left $100,000 trust fund or inheritance or whatever, So it's like, it doesn't do you any good to play the comparison game anyway, because you're not going to have those opportunities if somebody's got a $50,000 from their relatives as a down payment on their home. Well, like, who cares? Like, good for them. But like, you're not going to get that same opportunity. So why waste your breath on it? So you're just saying, work your butt off, stay focused on what you're trying to build.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has their own story. Everybody will get their own opportunities. It's different for everyone. That's the problem with comparing yourself, is every single person on this earth will have their own story.
That's
so
right.
you can't try to compare yours to someone else's that's been doing it for 10 years and you're just getting started. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Amen to that, man. Well, let me ask you this. Your mom was bragging on you when we were upstairs. I got to meet your mom and dad. Super cool folks. Beautiful home here, by the way.
Thank you.
Dude, it's awesome. We're going to go do the shop tour here in just a quick minute, and then we're hightailing it back to the airport, believe it or not. But your mom said that you have been like this for quite a while. And then your mom and dad jokingly were like, we didn't know what to do with him because your dad's a football guy. I think he likes soccer football, right?
Yeah.
No, we're just kidding. No. Yeah, there was a joke upstairs. But they said, like, you've always been into equipment since, like, as little dude, like 6, 8 years old.
Since I was 4 years old, when Home Depot, they had all riding tractors and stuff, I was climbing on every single one. I always went to the chainsaw section, the blower section.
Yeah.
We went to these trade shows like Ritchie Brothers. I was climbing all the equipment. I loved it. I never liked school. I never liked sports. And I don't know, it should have clicked process sooner that this was what I wanted to do. And now when I was 14, I just fell in love with it because it was all I've ever done. And I just didn't really realize it.
That's awesome. What gets you excited about all the equipment?
I just like how it works. I'm a gearhead.
There you go.
It's just fun operating. It's fun working on it. But now growing the business is more fun to me. The equipment is kind of a second thought now.
Sure.
I like using what works, but so
that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, good for you. Yeah. It's again, when I was younger, I got some advice to go in a different direction. And man, I'm like, I told your parents upstairs, I said, I don't think parents need to like really teach their kids a lot about the business other than just be encouraging. Just encourage what your kid's passionate about and they'll pursue it.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for my parents because they both went to college. They both have pretty nice degrees and they never really forced me to go. They were leaning towards me going that direction.
Sure.
But they still ultimately gave me the choice and that has helped me out tremendously because I want to run a big landscape company and college is not really a path for me. And if that's something similar for you, you don't really need college.
That's right.
Sometimes it takes some convincing, but especially if you work hard and you can show the results, it proves yourself.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So where do you go from here? When we were talking in the car on the way here, we got a great debrief. What's going on with my life, your life, I have all this mess. And it was, you were saying, I'm trying to grow the company. I'd like to scale it, get a little bit bigger. I don't want to put any words in your mouth. So where are you at now? And then where are you trying to go? Because you've been doing a lot with landscaping too. So you're trying new things and kind of spreading your wings. So what's things like day to day today?
This is season 5 for my business and season 1 through 4, 0 landscaping, all just mowing. I was so focused on growing mowing. This season, I was like, okay, I'm going to try some landscaping. Okay. I fall in love with it. I can work less hours. I can chat with my friends. We're not all to have earbuds on the whole time. And I like the bigger paychecks. And it's just, I'm trying to decide because I'm mowing about 50 accounts, 60 accounts, kind of in that range. I'd like to focus on landscaping more because I'm booked out for a month out right now on landscaping jobs. So I'm trying to decide whether I go into that full time. I'd like to get half and half, like 3 and 3 day schedule mowing landscaping, but I'm really enjoying the landscaping side.
What do you enjoy about the landscaping versus the cutting the grass?
It's just, like I said, it's just more social. It's harder work, but to me, it's more rewarding. Okay. You see, mowing, like when you're done with the lawn, you see all your stripes, but you come back in a week, it looks like you haven't cut it again. Right. But landscaping job, you can take a horrible looking flower bed or rock bed and you can transform it into something that looks amazing. That's true. And it's seeing customers' reactions when you're done. It's fun. I enjoy it.
I love it, man. I love it. Have you considered having a mow crew and a landscape crew? Like, all that kind of conversation?
I'm considering it. Cool. I'm just kind of seeing for right now how my business is. If I put the same amount of hours, like a 40-hour work week of landscaping versus 40-hour week of mowing, the profits wouldn't even be comparable. Oh, for sure. So that's kind of what I'm trying to decide. But I would like to get a mow crew eventually. That's cool. As of right now, I have a couple part-time guys and I'm the main guy. So I'm still out in the field, but I'm hoping by I'm 25 or 30, I could transition out. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Do the office work. So dude, seeing what you've built the last 4 years and now you're really getting your feet underneath you. I think the sky's the limit. If you want to take this thing big, or do $1 million plus, I don't think that'd be an issue for you at all. That's the goal. This was my first year. All the other years I was waiting to get out of school. Like I'm just gradually. This year I've put the pedal to the floor. I'm really trying to grow. Yeah. I've been reinvesting all my money into the business. Like If y'all follow my Instagram, I just got the dump trailer. I mean, I'm just really investing into a lot of landscape stuff, and it's been working out really well.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And I've seen it. Like I said, I'm following along on Instagram, seeing your growth. And then it's always cool getting to catch up with you guys at, Equip Expo, or some of you guys come up to LAL. That's our live event in November. And I've seen you grow like year over year over year. And it's just cool to see you guys light up at Equip Expo, and you guys take the most away from that kind of show because you guys are growing. You guys are hungry for it. So it's a good time. You going to Equip this year?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
If y'all haven't gone to Equip, you need to. It's not even for the equipment, but the networking. I mean, most of my friends from the Instagram and stuff, they're all up north. I don't have many people near me. So I go to Equip, we all meet up, we hang out. It's just a fun time.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, you can, for one thing, everyone knows, but you can demo pretty much every piece of equipment imaginable. But I think the networking is the more fun part. I mean, you just get to hang out with so many cool people.
30,000 people in the industry, all the who's who are there.
Oh yeah, you will see, you'll pretty much see everyone you know.
That's awesome.
I mean, I've bumped into people every year that I didn't expect to see.
That's awesome. Yeah. And how many years have you been going? A couple years in a row?
This will be my third. I went the previous 2 years.
Yeah. Awesome.
So it's been fun. I like it.
It's getting bigger and better than ever. If you guys haven't registered yet, get your tickets. I think we had a promo code, Brian or something like that, saves you 50%. So if you use the code, awesome. If you use somebody else's code, awesome. But get there.
I think I bought tickets already through your code.
Dude, solid, bro. Thank you. Well, that pays for 1/10 of our flight to, not 1/10, to 1/100th of our flight down for the kickback here. We think we make like a $2 kickback or whatever it is. Just having some fun, but that's awesome. Thanks for the support. That's really cool.
Thanks for the discount.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, we're saving you $12.50, I think, right now, which helps. It adds up. And then after that, I think it's 50% off of every time the rate gets raised even more. So don't wait too long, guys. Obviously, if you're going to go to Equip Expo, if you know you're going to go, just get your ticket and
it's
lock that in.
100% worth it.
Yeah,
I mean, this show you won't regret going. I'll say that.
Yeah. Well, and again, I've met young guys. This kid Scott that came. He was like 12 or something like that, and now he's like 16 cutting grass, doing the deal. I remember Henrik the first couple of years he came. He was a younger kid, pipsqueak kid, running around, and doing the deal. Now Henrik's got a couple guys working for him, and gosh, I mean, he's probably gonna make 50, 80, 100 grand this year. I mean, it's wild. It's awesome to see your guys' growth, man. So keep doing what you're doing. Last thing I'll bring up, because this is your crown jewel lately, is the tractor. So you want to explain that story really quick? Because how did that come about?
Yeah. So basically, for landscaping jobs, I've been wanting a compact tractor, and I was actually planning on by the end of the year financing one, or seeing if I could come up with enough cash to just flat out buy one.
Sure.
But I've just been talking to my parents about it, and basically, I graduated. I made it clear that I wasn't going to college, but I had a college fund since I was born. So an 18-year college fund, basically. And so I guess my parents, they want to put that money towards something. So they surprised me with that tractor. Wow. I got a Yanmar 425. And that was basically my grad present. I mean, I'm super grateful. I mean, that's amazing. It's changed my business. Yeah, I got it basically instead of college. I could either go to college, or they could get me a piece of equipment that would make me more money than college would have made me.
Sure.
So that's kind of how they saw it, and I'm very thankful.
Have you been putting it to work?
Oh yeah, that's I'm already at 20 or 30 hours on it.
Wow.
And I mean, it's gone on all our sod jobs or mulch jobs. We did 15 or 16 yards of wood chips. We spread them in 3.5 hours with the tractor. It would have taken us probably over a day.
Wow.
Because I got two of my employees to spread, and I was just on the tractor moving the chips, dumping them. And I mean, 3.5 hours for 15 yards. I mean, that's no slouch. So.
Right. That's awesome. And you're just getting started with the capabilities of that thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have a grapple on the way for it. I have a bush hog box blade. So I mean, I want to get an aerator for the 3-point. So I'm hoping this will be like a one-stop machine.
Dude, that's awesome.
I can do. Because I think they also make 3-point leaf blowers. Like you have that little Billy Goat stand on or whatever it's called.
The P2000.
If I can get something like that goes on the back of the tractor, that'll save me a couple grand. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can just tote that around the property and like a turbine blower or something like that.
Exactly.
I think the Toro turbine leaf blower, the one that goes on a multi-force.
Yeah.
I think they have a cart version.
Do they?
I think. I've seen something, because back at my house, there's a lake I live next to, and I was driving by, and they had like a parking lot, and then you go into the tunnel to the beach on the lake. So I was driving over this road. Some of you guys know Walled Lake, and I put on Instagram about last year or 2 years ago, and some guy just had some John Deere Gator pulling the turbine leaf blower, and I'm like, I think it was the same leaf blower that's on a multi-force or whatever, but it was a cart behind.
I'd like to find one though that's like actually like hooked up to the PTO. Like that just stays on the 3-point of the tractor.
No, that'd be cool.
Because the trailer, I mean, maneuvering a trailer through someone's yard, that might get a little tricky.
Yeah, that's a good
But if it's
point.
just part of the tractor,
Part of the PTO.
that'd be pretty easy because like I ordered turf tires on it. So I mean, if y'all get a compact, that's something that you must do is the turf tires. It's like a zero turn. It doesn't damage anything.
Yep.
Even putting 1,000 pounds of sod in the front bucket. I mean, it's very gentle on the turf. So like I said, I'm going to use it for aerations. I'm going to use it for leaf cleanups. I'm going to keep it busy. So.
And I think people are just now realizing like how versatile those tractors are. I was just hanging out with Tom Maggs over in New Albany, and he's got a John Deere, I think it was, and the same thing. He's like, we're doing 10, 20, 30-yard mulch jobs in 4 or 5 hours. And that's what we rent. I rent one for my buddy. He lets me rent it for $100 a day. It's a Rural King tractor. And we would do 30, 40-yard mulch jobs all the time with 4 guys. And we're done by 4 or 5 o'clock. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of work. But, dude, 30, 40 yards of mulch in a day, like, that's awesome.
People don't understand. People sleep on these little tractors. I mean, it's because my Yanmar, it can load or it can lift 1,200 pounds in the front. That's the same as because most people, they want the little Bobcat or Kubota, those stand-on skid steers.
Yeah.
And it has the same capacities. It's just, and with the turf tires, it's more gentle on turf. I mean, it might not be as stable in hills. I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing that. But if
you got flat land,
For flat land, for the price point, for the versatility, I don't think, if you want to get into landscaping work or efficient landscaping work, I don't think this is a bad investment.
Yeah.
Like this is what, like I said, that tractor was going to be my big purchase for this season.
That's awesome.
So that paired with my new dump trailer, because I was kind of seeing if I could find a deal where I could get both together.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because I can really knock out some landscaping jobs with those two now.
Well, and by the way, I mean the tractor's a half to a third of the cost of a new Toro Dingo. So it's not always apples to apples too. Like go with the tractor until you can get a Dingo.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. For the price point,
Totally.
they're pretty comparable for specs. Like I think a Dingo can lift 1,000 or 1,100 pounds in the front. This tractor can lift 1,200.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's very similar.
Great value package. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. I'm trying to wait until see if we might have a brand deal come together with Bobcat where they might actually give us a tractor, which would be pretty dope. But I told my wife, as I said, if they, I just tired of waiting for people. Like I'm not here to just get free stuff, all that kind of mess. Like we've been buying a bunch of equipment left and right ourselves. We're buying a new plow truck this fall, most likely. Then probably my big purchase this fall is another plow truck. And then next spring, I need a tractor because I love renting my buddy Brent's tractor. Shout out to Brent if he's listening in. But at the same time, it's just, just to have it and just for that convenience, I'm like, hey, it's 18 grand. We're good to go. Let's rock and roll with that. So
yeah, no, the tractors are a game changer.
Yeah, you don't have to convince me. They're awesome, man. I love them.
Yeah, don't underperform on those.
Don't sleep on the tractor. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, that's all I got for right now, man. Anything else that you want to share with these guys? But man, it's been just awesome getting to meet your family, getting to see the property. We're gonna go film the shop tour. So if you guys haven't checked out the Brian's Lawn Maintenance YouTube channel in a while, come check out Blake's video. It's gonna drop tonight at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's gonna be a banger. We were just showing in the shed and in your truck. Absolutely beautiful setup up there. So it's going to be good, man. But anything you want to leave these guys while we got you?
Not really. Just thank you for coming down.
Yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
Appreciate it.
Well, you were shocked on Instagram that I was going to come on down.
Well, I figured from Michigan and Georgia, that's kind of a haul.
A little bit.
I was just mowing. I got DM on my Instagram say, hey, do you want to be a part of the shop tour? I was like,
I've been following you for years, bro, and you have great photos on Instagram. What's your IG so people can follow you?
At BDS Outdoor Services.
BDS Outdoor Services. Mm-hmm. What's BDS, Blake?
My 3 initials.
Yeah, okay.
Gotcha. I actually do want to talk about that for a second because I used to be Stiehl Lawn Care, Stiehl Landscaping.
Oh, okay.
For my last name. My last name is Stiehl.
Yeah.
It conflicts with the equipment brand Stiehl.
Oh, yeah.
Because basically the problem I was running into was that because they had all the
SEO,
all the SEO, I didn't show up anywhere.
Oh, okay.
I changed, so I renamed. Plus, I want to go more in landscaping, so I went from Lawn Care to Outdoor Services.
Okay.
But just changing my name on Google, I went from 30 views a month on my Google page to over 300.
Wow.
Just changing the name. Because Stiehl had all the SEO.
Right.
So I was like, why am I not growing? I wasn't getting any leads from ads online.
Sure.
None of that was working. I was like, I thought about it. I'm like,
bro, that's awesome.
If you searched up my company name, it would bring up the Stiehl mower.
Like a misspelling, so it refocus you to Stiehl.
That's why I renamed my business. Because I had some people ask me about that. I renamed my business BDS because that's my initials, and it changed my advertisement.
That's
completely.
Huge. That's huge. Did you happen to listen to the podcast episode we did the other day about Google reviews?
I need to.
Yeah.
I'm working on that.
Yeah.
I'm at about 15 or 16 reviews.
That's awesome.
Every review I've gotten, I've seen my Google. I've gone up on the list. So it works.
Yeah, I'm telling people, get your Google reviews in, man. Get to 50, get to 100. It's not that hard. It was a really good episode. We talked about SEO and all that mess. And so many people are like, I just can't get the phone to ring, or landscaping slowing down. And I'm like, check out your Google. You just said, like, how is your SEO doing? How's your Facebook doing? Like, if you're not getting clicks and views, there's got to be a reason. And it's okay to rebrand or change or run some ads or get some more reviews coming in. It's something that I've really tried to hammer down for people that are growing a real business. I know we do a lot of like YouTube stuff and podcast stuff, but like I'm growing my lawn care business every single day. I just got 2 Google reviews 2 days ago from one guy named Ken and one guy named Brandon. I sent out messages to both of them because I'm trying to grow too. So I tell people, get those Google reviews in, man. So you're getting there. You got it.
You can also offer incentives for the customer too. That's kind of what I've done for a few. I might say, hey, if you leave me a review, I'll take $5 off your next
Totally.
cut. That works very well too. Just say, hey, email all of them. Say, hey, if you can take the time to leave me a review, I'll give you a discount for services.
Yeah, 10% off your next service or whatever. Or
exactly, that works.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, keep it going, man. I'm super excited for you, for real. You got some great things going on. They can find you on Instagram, obviously, and then have you active anywhere else? Or
I'm starting YouTube. I just actually hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Dude, heck yeah.
So I'm not posting very much. I'm trying to more, but it's the same thing, PDS Outdoor Services on YouTube. Awesome. But my Instagram's the main thing.
Okay.
So,
dude, follow along, man. It's awesome. I'm trying to catch up to Henrik. He's got a big YouTube channel, so I'm trying to. Henrik's making those YouTube millions.
That kid's killing it.
He is. Henrik's. I throw him under the bus a bunch, like having fun. He's a good buddy, but I'm trying to catch up to his success on YouTube. And Henrik, I'm still waiting for a shout out. You know what I mean? So I'm just having some fun. But dude, congrats on the YouTube channel, man. And
thank you.
Actually, what I'll do is once your YouTube video shop tour drops, I'll share it as a mention on our community post or whatever they call it.
Okay.
And then we'll send a bunch of people your way.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
I mean, my main video, I did a setup tour at the beginning of the year, and that's been really, that video kind of
pulling in some views.
That did pretty good. But all my other ones were like just
Hey man, if I can send 12 more people your way,
I'll take it. Yeah, I won't complain.
It's about what the size of my YouTube channel is. We'll get you a couple more people, and hey, keep it going and make those YouTube millions, man.
I appreciate it.
That's right. All right, dude. We'll appreciate the time. You ready to go film a YouTube video, and then we're heading back to the airport.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, hey, let's kick it back over to Marty, Mr. Producer. We'll button this thing up. Again, big shout out to Echo, Stable, and Equip for putting this thing together. We couldn't do it without them. Let's kick it back over to Marty, Mr. Producer, and we will button this thing up. Thanks, guys.
Early bird registration ends September 7th. Start planning today to celebrate the 40th Equip Exposition Trade Show this October 17th through the 20th in Louisville, Kentucky. Expo is the best place for landscapers to find the latest equipment, tools, and technology to get more productive and efficient. And then you can go into our 30-acre demo yard and test the products for yourself. Explore new business opportunities in one of our 50-plus education sessions and learn firsthand from experts in landscaping, hardscaping, irrigation, pool installation, tree care, and outdoor lighting. And don't miss the new Thursday night arena concert with Third Eye Blind and Dylan Scott. Also, there's our UTV test track and our main stage events with top-notch speakers like Brian Fullerton, all for just $25 per person if you register during our early bird sale. And you can even save 50% off that price with the coupon code BRIAN. The early bird registration ends September 7th. Hi, I'm Mr. Producer, and one more thing. If you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you need our free email newsletter. It's delivered 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. Join our mailing list to stay connected to the world of lawn care and get exclusive access to the latest and greatest from Fullerton Unfiltered and Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Don't miss out on this opportunity to stay ahead of the curve and elevate your lawn care game. Sign up now with the link we've provided in the show description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.